Welcome to this week's summer edition of Fun Activities in 5. Today we're going to be talking about sidewalk chalk relays. You don't have to do sidewalk chalk. You could do them on a whiteboard, you could do them on paper, you could do them on any surface that students could draw on. I just enjoy getting to take my students outside for a few minutes and get some fresh air and get out of the classroom. So this is a review game for me, a review activity. You could do it at the end of the year, which is when I tend to do it, but you could also do it at the beginning of the year for a level 2, a level 3 class to bring them back in and find out what they know in a nice, fun way. Here's the premise of the game. You put students in a team. It is important that there's more than 2 or 3 people in the team. I like to do groups of 4 or 5 because you want students to be able to collaborate, but you also don't want to have so many students that students get left out. So I like to do groups of 4 or 5. In the groups of 4 or 5, they get one color piece of chalk. It is important that they have different colors so that you can tell what students are drawing. So if you're doing whiteboards, you would want to give them different color markers. If you're doing a piece of paper, you'd want to write their name on the paper so you can tell who is who, because they will be voting on who draws the best representation. Then you as the teacher, you can pre-do this or you can do it spontaneously. I do it spontaneously because it's more fun, but you could script it out. You're going to describe something to your students, circumlocution style. So say you want them to draw a computer. You would start saying things like, this is something that is a school supply, but maybe you have it at your house. It's not a cheap school supply. It's an expensive school supply. It's a device that would be considered technology. It's something that needs the internet to work. It's something, and you can give as many clues as you want. By the time I get to usually 3 or 4 clues, students are already going to draw what they think the answer is. I usually cap it out at about 5 clues, just because number one, if they haven't figured it out by that point, they're probably not going to figure it out, and I want to get through the activity. As I'm calling out these clues, students are working together with their team. Oh, I think it's a calculator. No, she said technology. That's not technology. I think it's a cell phone. That's expensive. A calculator's cheap. No, I think it's a computer because we can't use cell phones in school. Oh, and they're talking with each other. Maybe in the target language, maybe in English, doesn't matter to me. The student whose turn it is, they do rotate, is gonna, once they've decided it's a calculator, they're gonna run to the destination, whether it is a chalkboard, a whiteboard, sidewalk, whatever. They're gonna draw their answer to the question. I do tell students they can write the answer in the target language if they think their drawing ability is not that good, but I usually pick things that are pretty easy to draw, even if you're not artistic. Like a computer would be just like 2 rectangles and some little keys. It would be fine. They come back. Once the last person comes back, I go and I look at the answers and I go, oh, okay, correct, no, 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 yes. Of the answers that are correct, I then ask students, what do we think the answer is? Oh, una computadora. Great. Love that. Computer. We go look at the 2 that are correct and we vote on who gets the bonus point. So if they get it right, they get a point, and then the best representation of the answer gets another point. And I keep going through this. It usually takes me between a minute and a minute and a half to get through one full set of clues. So I can usually do 20, 25 repetitions of this in a class period and still have time to get in and out. It's a great way to review vocab, especially if you say this round is going to be all foods. This round is going to be all clothing. This round is going to be all types of jobs. I don't know. It's also a great way for you to do a sentence. You could say, I need you to draw and describe the things in the sentence and have them draw like a storyboard and give them a little bit more time. Great way to allow students to collaborate. Great way to allow some movement. Great way to allow them to be with their friends while they're still doing Spanish. And a great way to just have a little bit of fun while staying completely in the target language. There is a blog to this activity. I will link it in the description below. You can go check out the blog and see some more detailed instructions on this activity. If you do this activity, I would love to hear about it in the comments or if you have questions. And I will see you next week for next week's edition of Fun Activities in 5.